I see that shit could have went all bad. All bad. Story time. All right, so I guess I got to LA like in '07, really started doing this comedy like '09, but you know, I remember when I got out to LA, I would get my haircut. The first place I got my haircut was on Crenshaw in South Central by this comedian named Mad Marv. You know, I didn't know who he was. I walked in there, he was cutting some dude hair. This dude hair he was cutting, name was Spike. Now, Spike is this guy that runs the Improv on Monday nights back in the day. Hard ass dog, you know what I'm saying? Good dude, grumpy as shit, right? But when I first met him, I was talking to him, he's getting his haircut. I remember Mad Marv from being on TV back in the day. So I'm talking to him, and I was like, man, yeah, I came out here to do comedy and all of that. Spike said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah, man. He said, shit, man, I do a room on Monday night, man. You know, I said, yeah, I want to come. So he would give me tickets and shit. Not tickets, but he would give me a wristband, and I would be able to go see the show. I was just a fan. I would see Mike. I see all these motherfuckers up in there, man. So this one particular night, I go, right? I go up in there, and I've been going, and it was cracking this night. I mean, everybody was in. The room was packed. It was just a hot night up in the Improv. And I'm feeling myself. I ain't really had no drinks. I just got there, but, you know, I'm just barking up a tree trying to figure out how do I get on the stage. But really, I don't want no problems. I ain't been doing this shit that long. So I'm standing up there talking to Spike, and I would always pick with Spike. Like, come on, man, give me a chance, man. What's up? And I'm like, man, I can do this shit, man. I will kill this room, dog. Just trying to, you know what I mean? And so he like, yeah, man, what? And then just like that, Marlo came out. Sexy Marlo came out, another comedian. Shout out my girl, Sexy Marlo. She come out the room. She's hosting that night. I guess D-Ray wasn't in town, and she was hosting. So she come out the room. We standing in the hallway, and she say, Spike say, Marlo, this nigga right here talking about he funny. Talking about he'll kill this room and shit. He'll murder this room. And she looked at me like, nigga, I ain't never seen you before. Right? So they laughing and shit. I don't know this nigga. So she going about his business. We laugh about it. I'm like, whatever. So I go in the room where they having the show. I sit down in a seat. At this point, I was sitting in the crowd when I was out here at this point in the game. I was sitting in the crowd drinking my long. I mean, it's packed in there. Marlo goes back on stage after the comedian comes off. She go back on stage and says, yeah, and this a motherfucker in here talking about he funny. Talking about he'll kill this room and this, that, and I'm going to bring his ass to the stage. I'm like, and she like, yeah, where you at, nigga? She like, I want y'all to boo his ass too and show him the Improv ain't no game. We don't fuck around up here. I want y'all to boo his ass immediately if he ain't funny. So I'm sitting there. She's like, where you at, nigga? I'm in the back. I'm like, fuck. But I just said, fuck it, and got up. You know what I'm saying? I get up to the stage. And I'm saying, I can't believe I'm walking towards the stage. The room is packed. And I'm like, oh, shit, but I got to do it. I done talked myself in some shit. I get up there. She give me the mic. I didn't even address what she said. I was so motherfucking nervous. I didn't even address what she said. I just jumped up there and said some shit like, fuck relationships. And just started talking the little 2-3 jokes I had. And they was fucking with me. The crowd was laughing like a motherfucker. And then Reggie, who's the dude that worked the sound and shit, Red's gonna pull the damn cord out. I mean, cut my mic off and shit after 2 minutes, because I only supposed to have 2 minutes. And I was happy that motherfucker Reg cut the plug. Shit, I ain't had nothing else, no way, man. But the crowd was rocking, and when he pulled the mic, they was like, oh! And I'm like, fuck it, man. She came back on stage. She was looking at me all crazy. I gave her the mic, man. Oh, man, got out of there, man. Went in the hallway and just like, because that shit could have went all bad. I wouldn't have been able to tell. I wouldn't have been able to get on that stage. That would have set me way back, dog. But shit, God was fucking with the pressure was on. That shit could have went bad. Marlo, but Marlo, my motherfucking dog. That's my girl, man. Shout out to you and your Netflix special, man. But that shit could have went all bad, man. I gained a little bit of respect at that time from Spike. And so he was, you know, he'll listen to your conversation and shit. And I was able to get on stage sometime. But, you know, that shit was crazy. And, that shit could have just went all bad, man. For more crazy stories like this, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that notification bell, man. Until then, man, it's your boy, Kevin Tate. I'm out. Peace.